We will now continue our study in the book of Ecclesiastes. At tayo po ay nasa chapter 9 pa din. I would like to read from Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 12. Our subject today is the reality of death, the urgency of life. The reality of death, the urgency of life. Sabi po dito sa Ecclesiastes chapter 9 verse 12, For man also knoweth not his time, as the fish yet that are taken in an evil net, and as the birds that are caught in the snare. So are the sons of men snared in an evil time, when it falleth suddenly upon them. Evil time happens so sudden to many of humankind. What is being mentioned here sa Ecclesiastes chapter 9 verse 12, what is being discussed, illustrated in a beautiful way, using the fishes and the birds. The subject is none other but the reality of death and the urgency of life. Life is short. Kaya nga po, we wanted each and every one to make sure that you know what lies ahead of you when you die. Kaya yung question na, where are you going to spend eternity? Where will you go after you die? Yan po ay napakahalagang mga tanong na dapat ay may kasagutan tayo sa ating buhay. We all know we will all die, yet little preparations are being done by many. That is something we all know will happen. Death is something we all know is real. Yet many people are turning away from facing this reality and feel the urgency of life. Solomon was talking about the imminency of death. Nung sinabi niyang, it falleth suddenly. Bigla-bigla dumarating po si kamatayan. Alam ko, this is not a very pleasant subject to discuss early this morning, but it is very urgent and important. Sabi nga po, it happens without notice or warning. Death is the common denominator that unites us all, rich or poor, religious, righteous, fanatics, or even those we call publicly as wicked and sinners. Alam ni Solomon na siya rin ay mamamatay. So he concludes that he may as well enjoy his short, toilsome, meaningless life. Blessedly in Jesus Christ, we who believe in Him can find much more meaning in life. Sabi nga po ng Panginoong Jesus, I come that they might have life and that they might have it more abundantly. Abundant life there does not speak of riches and wealth, but speaks of the kind of life that Christ may bring to us without fear, but with love, peace, and joy in our hearts. By this point in the book of Ecclesiastes, Solomon has walked through all of life. He thought about it all. Knowledge, money, power, pleasure, relationships, government, happiness, you name it, Solomon mentioned it already. And he ends up in the same place every time. We're all gonna die. It doesn't matter how rich, how wise, how powerful you are, how beloved, how famous, or popular you are, or successful. Every person who lives will die. As it does for us, being faced with his own mortality, Solomon was forced to put everything he thought into a new perspective. Alam nyo, much of Ecclesiastes ay Solomon's coming to grips with the shortness of life and thinking hard about the things that seems meaningless in retrospect. Pinag-iisipan pong mabuti ni Solomon lahat ng mga nangyayari at nararanasan ng isang tao sa kanyang buhay. At siya po'y nalulumo sa tuwing iisipin niya, anuman marating, anuman maakamit, anuman maabot ng isang tao, magpakabuti man siya o maging masama man siya, iisa ang tutunguhin sa huli, kamatayan. Para sa atin, this passage is a call to refocus our priorities. Like I said, and like everyone of you knows, life is short. We should be more urgent about some things. We should be more prepared. And we should be more ready. For one day, we shall meet God. And one day, we shall stand before His judgment. Sabi nga po, and as it is appointed unto men once to die, but after this, the judgment. We only have one life to live. Kaya nga po sabi, only one life, so soon it will pass. What are you doing about it? Only what's done for Christ will last. Buti na lamang po mga minamahal, ang Biblia, ang salita ng Diyos, nagbigay sa atin ng buhay na pag-asa kay Kristo Jesus. And because of that, we know who holds tomorrow. We know who holds our hand. And to be absent from the body, we are sure we will be present with the Lord. Christians have that hope and confidence. And I pray this morning, you have that confidence in your heart. The assurance of salvation. Knowing the fact that when you die, you will be going home in heaven. Again, mga minamahal, everyone dies. It doesn't matter who you are or what you've done. You will die and stand before God in judgment. Are you ready? Are you prepared? Sabi po ni Apostle Paul, he's always between two choices. Having a desire to depart and to be with God, or to stay and make the most of his life for the service of our Lord Jesus Christ.